Case Keenum was starting over him, over the number 1 overall pick in the draft. The start of the franchise in L.A.
This was a Pac-12 player, played against zero defense in college. Yeah, was he a 3-year starter? 3-year starter at Cal?
I don't know, but I mean, your point about the defense in the Pac-12, there is none.
There is no defense out there. It's like 7-on-7 drills. So yeah, he put up all these gaudy numbers. I'm not impressed with the kid at all. I haven't done my job well today, but Miami's a 2.5-point favorite in this game. Over under at 39.5. I've seen it fluctuate between 39, 39.5, and all the way up to 40. But this is a low-scoring game. The Rams can't score. Caveat to fantasy football, daily fantasy players out there, don't you dare add a Rams player to your lineup. I saw it last week. Just don't. They don't score any points. Stop it. I don't care how cheap they are. Just Tavon Austin's not finding the end zone. He might, but just don't. Miami wins this game 17-9.
Yeah. Wow. Another one here. I have it. I'm just going to tell you my score real quick. I had the Dolphins winning 17-10, and that's funny. But I know, right? I just think the Dolphins are playing good football. Another thing that pains me to say, because everybody knows I absolutely hate this team with a passion, but they are playing. What's right? Fair is fair. They are playing pretty good. Looks like Gase has them going in a pretty positive direction here. And about the Rams, they just. Yeah, their offense is just absolutely horrible. I feel sorry for anybody who watched that game last week when they played my Jets. That might have been the worst football game I ever watched in my life. It was so bad. But anywho, let's get to the nitty gritty here. I like Miami in this game, 17-10. I don't think this game is going to be very exciting or anything like that, but I think Miami will grind out a win. And here's another point of how cursed the Canton Crackers are. I'm looking at this draft board right now that I have in the basement. I took Jay Ajayi with my last pick in the draft. It was just for a shits and gigs pick of the draft. He is no longer on my team. I dropped him after like 4 weeks, saying, okay, this guy doesn't even play. And sure enough, Arian Foster gets hurt like he always does, retires, and then here comes Jay Ajayi running for 200 yards in back-to-back weeks. Go figure.
Pepper Jack, hit us up, man.
Yeah.
Miami at the Rams. Miami 2.5-point favorite.
Joey, just to jump on that a little bit, there was a guy named Kenyon Drake in Miami that was supposed to unseat Arian Foster. And here again, these are those fantasy experts out there making these forecasts early on. Have we heard anything from Kenyon Drake at all this year?
Nope.
Who?
Special teams kick returns.
Yeah. I'm with you guys. Low scoring. I think what's very interesting, I know there's some the Broncos are on the bye, fantasy footballers that have very good defense, special teams. I believe Miami Dolphins defense was probably the number one pick in any waiver wire transactions this week because of the fact that Jared Goff is making his start. St. Louis has an atrocious 12.7 points per game at home. That's what they're averaging this year, which is, I think it's horrendous. I'm going to tell you, they're going to score a little bit more this week. They're going to score 13. Dolphins are going to score 17, though. They're going to cover. They're going to win. They're going to go under.
All right, Miami.
Yeah, I think we're all. I don't see any way in hell this game just is a shootout unless of course Jared Goff in 8 weeks since the preseason figured some shit out. And
yeah, I doubt he's harnessed his inner Cliff Kingsbury. Moving forward, we got to scoot along here. New England Patriots travel all the way out to the West Coast to take on the San Francisco 49ers. That was Tom Brady's favorite team growing up. Brady's going to feel a little chapped, a little burnt. Little burnt here. I think that Tom's he's got an opportunity, no payback to the old 49ers. What do you think there, Jeff?
Is that a Lou Holtz?
No, this is the Lou Holtz. Notre Dame's not playing in this game, so you don't have to worry about it. Nobody even watch. Notre Dame's not playing.
I love it when you do Lou Holtz, but I also like when you counter with Mark May.
Well, I can say, Lou, fuck you. I'm taking Stanford in this game. Notre Dame's awful.
Fuck you, Lou. Yeah, that said, man, 49ers travel to San Francisco, or the Patriots travel to San Francisco. New England's all of a sudden an 11.5-point favorite. Over under here 51. That's a stocky number, man. That's high. And is it just me, or did we see this line move from about 14 all the way down to 11.5?
I don't know why is Colin Kaepernick protesting that now too?
I don't know. But
was he protesting the point spread? Is that why it went down?
No, I'm curious though. Jack, did you happen to see any of this about this line movement?
Is it at 11.5 now? Because it was at 14 earlier in the week.
That's what I thought. I thought it opened up at 14. And this is a perfect example of why sometimes you are better off making plays earlier in the week. So if you were going to take the Niners hoping they'd keep this game a little bit tighter, you'd have been better off on Tuesday morning when this was a 14-point spread. Now you're down to 11.5, which tells me
I know why.
Well, last week, Arizona, and you may know this too, Jack, Arizona, you'll see it, was a 14-point favorite over the 49ers, did not cover. Maybe somebody's thinking that Chip Kelly and his tutelage is starting to take hold in San Francisco, and this team is going to play them a little bit close. I don't think so in the slightest.
Tom, I have the answer for you.
Okay.
Rob Gronkowski.
Rob Gronkowski is injured, but yeah, and you know what? You're definitely right because Gronkowski is worth 3 points. He is.
Yeah, he's worth. Right. He can be worth 14 points though against a team like San Francisco. But But here again, they got Martellus Bennett, who is always stepping up. It seems in Gronkowski's absence.
Sure is.
Who I think would be a fabulous DraftKings play this weekend if he's healthy.
Yeah, I like Bennett. He does have an ankle injury though, I think.
Yeah.
A little on the banged up side. Do they get LeGarrette Blount happy here and just run this game over? And does New England win this one 21-10?
Well,
I'm saying I don't know. Go ahead, Jack. Sorry.
If you want me to go first, I'll go first.
Yeah, Jack, go ahead. That way.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do the Patriots get Dion Lewis back this week?
They do in a limited capacity. I don't know that he will even be active.
Oh, okay.
That's what I read.
I think you're right. I think LeGarrette Blount is the pounder. I got a strong, sneaky suspicion with Gronkowski out, though, that James White gets more involved if Dion Lewis is not available. I see a pissed-off Tom Brady. We all know what he does after losses, especially home losses on national television. I got it in for the 49ers, as we all know. I don't see it even being close. I don't see the Patriots letting up this week. I see it like a 41-10 thrashing. That's where I'm at.
I'm all over that. As well. And I got a question for Mr. York and Mr. Trent Baalke. Does it just suck being you guys? I mean, it's just you guys can't do anything. You just can't do anything right. They hired Chip Kelly. I'm so happy to see. I think this could be the exclamation point on ending the embarrassing Chip Kelly saga in the NFL. I'm going no Gronk, no problem. I'm saying New England 31, San Fran 7. They will run this team over. I don't care if it's on the road. I don't care that Gronk's not playing. The San Francisco 49ers are a catastrophe. New England will run this team. They will run this team over. A lot of that shit you throw that shit out the window when it affects most teams. When you're talking about, you ready? Belichick.
Fantastic. All right, Jack. Did you already choke a score out there, Jack?
I did. I said 41-10 Patriots.
41-10 San Francisco. You kicked.
31-7 is me.
You got it at 41-10. We're all pretty close in this one. I do see New England winning this game. I see him winning handily. I do see him going over that 51-point mark because, look, Brady, California kid, I think he's never had an opportunity to go out there and play the 49ers. He's going to go out there and let them all know what they missed out on. So Brady's going to go throw some touchdowns, man. You said earlier that, Jack, I don't know, you predicted somebody throwing 4 scores early. Maybe it was Eli. Okay.
I guzzle vodka. Brady throws touchdowns. That's just what we do.
I think Tommy's going to sling it around the field a little bit here. He's going to have some fun throwing a few. Probably do a running back out of the backfield. 44-20, New England Patriots. Look for a garbage time touchdown out of San Francisco just to get them back into it, or at least up to the 20-point mark. 44-20, going easily over that high mark of 51. Let's travel to the team that beat the New England Patriots last week. Seattle Seahawks. They're the home favorite. 6.5 points over the Philadelphia Eagles. Over under here 42.5.
I think this is maybe sneakily one of the better games of the afternoon. I'm a fan of this Carson Wentz kid. I think this kid can just flat out play. I really.
Yeah, he's good.
I think I'd like Seattle to win this game. I think Cam Chancellor back in there is just such a huge difference maker. Seattle. I see this being close. I see Seattle pulling away at the end, though. I see this being close for a half. I think Philly's a pretty good football team as well, and I think they will keep this game close. But in the end, I think Seattle will pull it out, 24-13.
Seattle 24-13. It's a hell of a okay. Pepper, Jack, what do you got for us?
It looked like Russell Wilson's back. I don't know. He didn't look very healthy the beginning of the season. I know he's been banged up. He showed a little bit of a burst Sunday night against New England.
He's moving well. He sure is.
Yeah, I did not see that game coming. I don't think any of us did. I think the experts had us twerked a little bit, thinking that 7.5 was a comfortable spread. It turned out to be devastating.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Eagles for some reason. They just don't show me. I don't know. I just can't put my finger on it. They're not consistent. Maybe that's what it is.
They're not. That 3-0 start and they fizzled out.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Joey. I think Carson Wentz is making some leaps and strides as a rookie in the NFL.
I think the kid can play.
Well, I don't think he's ever played in Seattle, though, and that's going to be a difference here going against that defense. You had it at around 10 points. I'm with you. I think the Eagles lose by 10 to Seattle. I'll say 24-14 Seattle.
24.
Yeah, that's a tough awakening playing there with that mutant in the middle, Cam Chancellor, man.
This is a tough game. Philadelphia's not a cover team anyway. They're 2-4 against the spread out of the last 6 games. 2-4 straight up. So after the 3-0 start, they really have fizzled out. Carson Wentz seems to be the real deal, but he's young, and it's just not time yet. Doug Peterson also seems like he's going to be fine in his head coaching job there. He'll be okay. I think they need to do a few more things to improve that defense, which has played really, really well. But they got tools. They're just not there yet. They're not Seattle. Seattle's starting to hit their stride and all of a sudden flexing some NFC best muscles, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right, Jack. I think Russell Wilson is healthy. I think he makes all the difference. He has players like Doug Baldwin, like Jimmy Graham, who are stepping up. But the one thing the Seattle Seahawks have done recently that stands out to me is they established a running game. They snipped and cut ties with Christine Michael. Thomas Rawls must be pretty healthy and ready to go, and they love this C.J. Procease from Notre Dame.
His dad, Thomas Rawls' dad, Lou, was a good singer.
Yeah, and he lived right here in Akron, Ohio.
Who, Lou Rawls?
He sure did, yes.
How about that?
Yep.
That sucks for him.
Interesting tidbit. Hey, what's the story with Doug Peterson and his musical chairs at running back, though?
Yeah,
that's the one thing I don't understand. I got Ryan Matthews in a couple of my fantasy leagues, and I don't know whether to play him or not because one week it's Sproles, the next week it's Matthews.
Yeah, they do mix it up, and you know what? Doug Peterson mixes it up so much it's almost Belichickian.
Yes, almost Belichickian.
Yeah. Almost. But yeah, all said and done, I think Seattle's the better team. They're starting to pull away from everybody else in the NFC, which is a surprise to me, but they're doing it. Seattle wins this game 30-23. Mm-hmm. I look for points.
Okay.
On to the real dumpster fire. This is the real dumpster fire. Green Bay Packers at the Washington Redskins. Washington is a 3-point favorite, where last year this was a playoff game, and Green Bay went in there and smoked them, kicked their ass. 49-point over-under here again, Washington, a 3-point favorite. As I stare at this lineup, I stare at these teams, I stare at Aaron Rodgers, I stare at pictures of his girlfriend, I wonder, what have I done wrong with my life?
I think, what are they saying over there in dairy country in Wisconsin? We don't know what happened to old Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. What's going on here?
Oh, yeah, something's going on for sure, yeah. Yeah,
yeah, indeed.
I don't know. I see all the talk, all the chatter, and I wonder, are they being wrongly is this wrong persecution to Aaron Rodgers? Is he just this darling that everybody can't help but love, or is he a prick? Is he a prick? Is there something going on?
You just see something. Yeah, go ahead.
I saw this week, I saw Greg Jennings. I saw Donald Driver. I saw Jermichael Finley. These 3 guys all came out and said something about Aaron Rodgers, caring first and foremost about Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers' stats. Randall Cobb is hinting to that as well. Now, look, the remedy to all of this shit is winning football games. When you're losing, now it all starts coming out of the woodwork.
Yep.
Where was it
2
years ago when this guy was a league MVP? I don't understand why the vitriol all of a sudden towards Aaron Rodgers. But there's where there's smoke, there's fire.
Well,
so
when things are going wrong, everybody points